Week 1 of 75 Medium is officially in the books, and if I'm being completely honest, the biggest win wasn't hitting my step goal, but it was how I handled my Saturday slip up. Usually one bad decision sends me into a spiral, but this time around it was different. So today I'm going to share the mindset shift and the simple systems that have been working so far to make this challenge feel sustainable. Hi, my name is Piliswa. Welcome to Miles and Milestone. I'm a South African living in Ireland. I make content on productivity and wellness. This sounds like something that you are interested in, or if you are in your own wellness and improvement journey, then hit the subscribe button and follow along for the journey. My main focus was on nutrition last week because it tends to be the driver behind everything. So specifically, I wanted to hit 30 servings of fruits and vegetables. This is according to research that people that live long tend to eat about 30 servings of fruits and vegetables. So I wanted to increase, the fiber that I'm eating. And I have this little trick if I'm trying to eat healthy, is that instead of trying to take away the unhealthy food, I know the convention when you are trying to eat healthy is that you remove, you take away. Some people say, oh, I'm taking away takeaway, or I'm taking away processed foods. But what I always try to do, which helps if I stick to it, is that instead of taking away unhealthy things, I add the healthy things. So I just keep on adding the good stuff until there's no more room for the unhealthy things. For example, because I was eating so much fruits and vegetables, my processed food intake plummeted, and so my energy levels improved last week. Like I wasn't feeling lethargic or tired. But then Saturday came around and I was attending a color picnic. I put in some pictures or a video with some friends, and so obviously we had some snacks and some sandwiches, and we were celebrating an anniversary, so we had some cake too, which was all the food that I had said I'm going to kind of reduce, or which I was trying to reduce. So because we are living in a world and I didn't want to restrict myself, I participated and partook in everything that was offered there. And when I was coming back home, part of me kind of did feel like, well, I've already eaten like junk and whatnot, so I might as well get a takeaway on my way home for dinner. But then I remember there was a video I watched a couple of days ago which spoke about consistency is not about never ever breaking, like the streak, but it's about how quickly you get back on the horse. So what I did was a friend of ours had made some chapati, so when I came home, I just had the chapati and some curry that I had in the house, and I went to sleep. Then on the next day, I went back I came back, I resumed, like the eating fruits and vegetables and eating just minimally processed foods and just complex carbs and all of those things. How do you handle a weekend slip up? Do you reset immediately, or is it hard not to spiral? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious on how you talk to yourself and how do you get yourself through it. Just to talk about expectations versus reality. Some goals, I'll admit, were easier to implement than others. But what I'm trying to do differently this time around is that to avoid burnout, I'm sticking to a system of small sustainable actions rather than a huge overhaul. For example, now I've made it a point that all my admin is for Wednesday. Now, obviously, if there's something that needs to be addressed, if there's an email that comes in and that needs to be addressed immediately, I'll address it. But most of the things I will, like setting up appointments and all those things, I'm going to be, well, I've started doing this, but I do them on Wednesday now, so that in that way I'm not constantly worried about the same things, because I know Wednesday is coming and I'll just complete whatever task needs my attention then. I also wanted to get better at home organization in this 75 Medium challenge. So for example, take laundry. My rule, which I've stuck to last week, was to do a load per day or a load every 2 days, depending on if we have clothes to wash. But then the one thing that is the actual bane of my existence is the ironing. So I told myself I'll save the ironing for Thursday because I hate it so much. I don't want it to pile up for the weekend. So what this has done is that it has removed the passive guilt of seeing a mountain of clothes grow every day. So what I do is I'll do the laundry and then I fold whatever it is that I can fold, like pajamas and things that don't need ironing, and I put those things away. Then I leave the shirts and things that need an iron, I leave them for Thursday, and then I do that. Now it only took me about 40 minutes to finish everything on Thursday, which was a big difference compared, like if you've seen me, I normally just leave it maybe for as long as I can, maybe once every 2 weeks, and by the time I'm doing it, I'm actually drowning. I probably spend like 2 hours just ironing, and I'd be sweaty and tired, and I just don't want to do anything after that. So I think the system is actually going to work better for me. Although, having said that, if you have a household chore system that actually works, drop it in the comments below. I need all the life hacks that I can get. One goal that I think we all have is trying to reduce the amount of time we spend doom scrolling. So this goal for me is tied to increasing my reading. But what actually ends up happening is that I take my phone, because I have Kindle. I don't buy too many like paperbacks, because I'm normally very impatient. If I want a book, I just want it then, so I can start reading it. Anyway, I read on my Kindle on my phone, and sometimes I'll be on the Kindle on the app reading. Then I'll think of something, and because I already have my phone on my hand, then I'll go out maybe into Google to type something, or YouTube to look for something. Then I end up getting distracted, and it would be like 20 minutes later I'm in a completely different tangent. I don't even remember that I was reading. To prevent this, I've actually recharged my Kindle. This is from like 6 years ago. I've been using it on and off. So now I've made it a point that when I wake up in the morning, I actually read on my Kindle rather than reading on my phone, so that when I wake up, reaching out for my phone is not the first thing. So I was reading The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. It was very popular, I think around 2022, 2023, but I was reading it. That's the last book that I read, and it is a book about self-sabotage, mastering self-leadership. I love the message. I think it's a great book, but I did find that towards the end, some of the themes were quite repetitive, and the book was quite long. So as much as I enjoyed it, I was very kind of glad that I got to the end. So if you want a dedicated video breakdown of the top lessons on self-sabotage from my notes, hit the like button or comment book notes so that I can know that I should film a video on the lessons that I learned from the book The Mountain Is You. Currently, I've moved on to Iyanla Vanzant's book, which is called Value in the Village. So I'm currently reading Iyanla Vanzant's Value in the Village, a Black woman's guide through life's dilemmas. I don't really have an opinion much of the book yet, because I'm in the very early stages of the book, but I think it's going to be a great read, and I just think it's very kind of pertinent to the stage that I'm in life at the moment. In terms of activity for the past week, I had been focusing on short runs. Maybe that's why I wasn't so tired. So I was doing 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 4.5. I was doing short runs and strength training. So with the strength training, I did Heather Robertson's 45-minute workout, like it's a full body workout, and I do Body Fit by Amy. She's very good. I do she has like a 34-minute full body strength training workout. When I tell you that workout, once you finish it, it burns, but in a good way. It burns in a good way. And I don't know if it's the placebo effect or not, but I felt like my dress looked quite nice when I was wearing it, and I thought it had something to do with what the workouts that I've been doing. Maybe it's too soon to kind of tell. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been sticking to short runs, strength training, and I've been taking my son. We've just been going out for walks. Not as many as I'd like, so that's one of the things that I'd like to improve this week. But we've been going out for walks, and that kind of it's two-pronged, or two birds with one stone. One is that we are able to spend time away from the screens and get our activity in, and another one is that I get to have like present one-on-one time with my son while enjoying nature. Well, in terms of results, I don't have anything wild yet, although I feel like my skin is clearing up, but that could just be because I'm just finishing up. I'm not sure. To make sure that I'm actually getting something from the 75 medium challenge, what am I honing on for week 2? To ensure that there are actually tangible improvements after the 75 medium challenge, what am I honing on for week 2? So this week I want to focus on 4 things. The first one is to spend more time outside. I feel like we are nearing the end of the Irish summer, and it would be a waste then for me to be indoors where I could be out there enjoying the beautiful Irish, the Irish outdoors. So my goal then is to spend more time outside. This could be accomplished by either going for runs or walks with my son, or going to the park with my son. So that kind of just takes care of that goal. Then I want to also improve on my goal tracking. So not just so much that I'm actually doing the things that I said I would do, but to hold myself accountable accountable by actually ticking out or, you know, clicking on the app once I've accomplished that goal for the day, so that I have something to look back on and see what I improved on and what I didn't. Then I want to focus a bit on my core exercises. Last week I was doing mostly just strength training for the entire body, but I just want to do a bit more on my core, because a strong core helps, you know, improve the rest of, you know, it helps you with the running, it helps with the lifting. Well, I don't really lift much, I just do kettlebell exercises at home, but having a good strong core helps with that as well. And it also helps if I want to lift up my son and run, you know, and my friend has a toddler too, so you always need to be able to handle 2 toddlers at a time. I'm a big fan of functional fitness. And finally, I want to be consistent with my iron supplements. I've touched a bit on this in that it's been sunny these days and I didn't really need my vitamin D, but then I've kind of just slacked in everything. But I need to continue taking my iron supplements every other day, so that I can keep my levels adequate, so that I'm able to accomplish all the tasks that I have set out for myself. If you are also doing a mid-year reset or a wellness challenge or some form of accountability challenge yourself, let me know in the comments below, and just so that we can build our own little village and hold each other accountable. Thank you so much for sticking till now. As usual, have a great day, and if you found this video helpful or useful or inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to Miles and Milestones, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.